Hi everybody, let me introduce myself. My name is Daniele and I am the founder of Social, a company based in Florida that has the ambitious dream of adding innovation to the world of social networks that now involves people of all ages and countries without distinction of gender, religion, political ideology, or social status. Social networks have by now accustomed us to relate and interact with people thousands of kilometers away from each other, and even in a very different social cultural contexts. We are now used to discussing topics that embrace any area in a new system of society in which there is no prejudice linked to the cultural level or economic condition of the individual, a prejudice filtered by a keyboard of the PC or the display for the smartphone, which reassures the user that at this point the user feels free to express his joy or vent his anger in a way made mainly of posts and written comments that often lead us to confusion between true and false information, influencing our way of thinking and often influencing our choices. Especially in the recent months in which many of us have been forced to remain locked up in their home in the fight against an invisible but dangerous enemy who has put our lives and the lives of our loved ones at risk. Social networks, as we are used to knowing them, they showed their limits. Forced into a few square meters, sitting on our chairs, we read news, information, comments, so much anger and little joy, in those characters typed often by those we do not know personally, but who for some reason we follow and who in many cases involved us in his mood, conditioning ours. And what apparently was supposed to be a window on the world actually isolated us even more and sometimes even put us in conflict with other human beings like us who, perhaps, thanks to the distance and the depersonalization of the keyboard, vented their aggression with the result that the tool, the social network, which was supposed to have the purpose of making us socialize, has made us even more alone. Today is the time to look at the future and travel thanks to the new technologies and explorated and exciting frontiers of online socialization. Today is the time to take advantage of these technologies to finally be able to get out of our little things and finally start looking at the whole world as something unique and achievable, exciting and unexplored for many of us, immersing ourselves in journeys to discover new places and cultures just a click away, a new way to visit the world and make new friends with a real social interaction by going behind textual boundaries to enter more human verbal boundaries, being projected into a new way of socializing and exchanging content in an interaction that is much more consistent with that reality in which our parents socialized by talking and listening to people. A new way in which the message goes beyond the verbal boundary and enters to paraverbal space for a more real, sincere, and surely more satisfying interaction. A new window on the world that really takes us out of our small things to project ourselves into a global dimension without borders or passport stamp. A new way of making friends, interacting, working, in which all our senses are involved. How is it possible? Well, actually, we are already doing it right now, and you may not have realized it. Yeah, this is my avatar, but it is also my real face, since this face you see is actually exactly my face transformed into an avatar. These are my real movements, and this is my real voice. In this new dimension, you are no longer reading me, you are observing me, measuring me, studying me. Your brain is evaluating if what I am telling you makes sense, and above all, it is elaborating my way of speaking, moving, and relating to understand whether or not I respond to your real and personal concept of sympathy, esteem, reliability. For some of you, even your brain is unconsciously evaluating if I am sexy. It isn't that just fantastic? Isn't it wonderful to hear the voice of a stranger for the first time and think, I like this person, or even not? Just like when you meet a person physically for the first time. Yeah, I know, even just this is amazing. But in fact, you haven't noticed an even more exciting aspect yet. Right now, maybe you are in your home or office or car, anywhere in the world. Wherever you are in this moment, you are certainly far from me and far from the place where I am in this moment. Yeah, right now, we are both experiencing magic. Yeah, you understood well. A real magic that makes our concept of social networking unique in all the world. Look around for a moment. Take your eyes off the screen and see where are you now. You will be probably in your furniture around you, your walls, or the dashboard and seats of your cars. I sincerely hope you are not driving just now. Good. Now, go back to watching the screen. Where are you right now? Yeah, exactly. You are no longer within your walls, but you are in this wonderful square in the city of Monaco. You are with me in one of the most prestigious locations in the world. Maybe it's the first time you've seen it in real life. Yeah, because if you have noticed the details, this that you see is not a virtual representation of the Square of Monaco, but it is exactly the Square of Monaco on a beautiful sunny day. These you see are the real buildings of this beautiful square of this wonderful city, unique in all the world. But we could be anywhere in New York, London, Paris, on a beautiful beach, or on the summit of K2. And in any case, the context that you will see and in which we could be walking together while we make friends and talk about our passions will not be a virtual representation that, however well done, will still be fake. You will still be in the real representation of the place with the real shops and buildings or stones and grains of sand. Here, maybe now you begin to understand that at this very moment you are no longer in your room, but you have just entered in Umetaworld. When, over than 1 year ago, we imagined our social network, we imagined it like this. Realistic avatars that meet in the real representation of the streets to interact with each other, get to know each other, organize and participate in events, parties, concerts, business meetings, or presentation of new business and opportunities. Over than 1 year ago, when we imagined and dreamed of creating our social network, this new dimension did not even have a name yet. Today, we call it metaverse, a word that many recently pronounced, but to which few today give a true meaning. Umetaworld was born from the idea of joining the real world to the metaverse through a real representation of the digital world in which our avatar can move without borders or horizons. A social network, but also a world of opportunities and innovation. Very soon, in addition to strolling the streets and making new friends that could turn into meetings in the real world, you will be able to access in a universe of services for work and leisure. You can organize meetings, conferences, events of all kinds in the desired location. You can organize a meeting in the representation of your office by connecting cooperators or customers from all over the world, as well as presenting a new project in the evocative setting of the Sistine Chapel or in the shadow of the pyramids. A new concept of emotional contextualization for a greater emotional involvement of the participants. You can enter the offices or the bank with your avatar and receive advice that would otherwise force us to travel or make boring phone calls. Above all, you can go to shops or malls to make purchases that our avatar can wear immediately while waiting for the courier to knock on our door with the real product. You can then decide which is the best match for your clothing rather than visiting the hotel where, why not, we would like to book our next vacation. You can participate in group games and challenges or simply explore new cities by asking directly to local people for advice and curiosities. The physical and economic limits will finally see the barriers broken down, and just a click will be enough to ensure that a teacher of any subject can share his knowledge by teaching children who cannot afford to go to school or who are unable to move around the world for any reason. This is the vision of Umetaworld, a true window to the world at your fingertips and accessible to anyone, anywhere, but also a new way of working and creating opportunities. It will be possible, for example, to take care of managing a specific place by collaborating on its mapping for its representation in Umetaworld, such a shop or a monument, and to be able to earn commissions on the sales of products in Umetaworld or on the ticket that the users will pay for visit the interior of a monument. It will even be possible to organize brainstorming to meet other users and share ideas on the implementation of the new project and why not new opportunities to be created in new Umetaworld. Yes, you got it right. We are witnessing the birth of a new world in which to live comfortably and enter from any place and time in the world. A word not only to socialize, but above all to create, design, and generate new economies that will be able to access even those who today are penalized by distances. A new frontier finally demolished, and which gives the possibility to a young person who lives in any part of the world to be able to earn, why not, by managing the updates of a shop located in a big city where we have all dreamed of entering at least once for buy that specific product of a specific brand. A new world in which to work or invent new jobs, and in which many young people can help their personal economics to grow. Yes, exactly. As you are thinking, Umetaworld is not only a social network where you can spend your free time, but it is also a world where you can create job offers for many unemployed young people. Of course, there is still a lot of things to do, and of course, a lot of things to develop, but the wonderful thing is that you too can contribute to building this new world that will be increasingly populated with content thanks to you. And if in this first moment of life you can already interact with the other avatars in the street of Monaco, very soon, my friend, you will be able to witness the realization of many of ideas that we have only mentioned. Umetaworld is therefore not only a place to make friends, but it is a universe of new opportunities entirely to be built and discovered together, and which also has an important social purpose to create new economies for well-being in a real life of all its inhabitants. This is why we took the invitation of our supporters to create UMetaWorld Foundation, a non-profit that aims to help develop new projects and resources to be shared in UMetaWorld, and that will contribute to the growth of this new world in which there are no wars, but only opportunity and benefits for all. If you are here now, you are among the privileged who have been able to access this first day of a new life in UMetaWorld. In the next few days, it will be available for everyone to download the app from Play Store and Apple Store too. We are really lucky today. We are here together to build a new social network and a new world unto ourselves and how we want it. We will remember this day as one of those days when man made the world a better place. And although some may perhaps say that this world is only virtual, of course, the well-being deriving from the thousands of opportunities it offers for the real life. Many thanks to all those who have helped us to ensure that we are among the very first to have realized this dream in a way that no one had yet imagined.